Let's take you to Katlehong in Ekurhuleni, where Incredible Happenings congregants are preparing for a church service in the absence of their controversial pastor Mboro, who's in jail. He's got a range of charges which include assault, intimidation and malicious damage to property. And this is after he was involved in a confrontation at the Matsediso Primary School where he demanded to take his grandchildren. His supporters say they're not shaken and they'll go ahead with today's service in the ruins of the burnt-down church. Our reporter, Zola Sholwana, joins us now live from there. Good morning, Zola. What an incredible, excuse the pun, development of events. What is the latest development with this particular case?
Well, Masachaba, the first thing that we heard from residents congregants rather, as soon as we arrived is that the church is not Pastor Mboro or the structure, so they are not shaken by the incident that took place on Tuesday. As you can see that they are trying to set up a structure that they will temporarily use as a church while they sit down as a church and decide when they'll actually rebuild their Incredible Happening church. Most of them are saying that this incident was allegedly prophesied by their pastor about 2 weeks ago, so they anticipated something of this kind. Although they are not happy with what has transpired, mentioning that they have lost quite a lot, mentioning the equipment that was inside and also the chairs. This structure that has been destroyed is believed rather to have, housed about 10,000 congregants, and now they are trying to find means to have a bit of shelter so that the service can continue even without their pastor. They are calling this, an attack on the church, saying that it's unfair that what was happening, what has happened rather, has now affected the entire Katlehong community, because this church is made up of community members who were not involved in what was seen on the video, allegedly being done by their pastor. But what we are seeing is positivity from the congregants, Masachaba, with most of them saying that, they will find means to recover from this, as, their church has essentially been burnt down to ashes and there's nothing left, from equipment to chairs to the structure that they've had for a number of years. But this is how they're going to be surviving until they find means on how to rebuild their church. But they are confident that they will support their pastor regardless of what is being said by community members, even the ones that are believed to be behind this act. We are told that the service will start at 9 o'clock and everything will continue as normal, except that their leader will not be part of the church, but there are church leaders that will be facilitating everything today. Congregants are expected to come out in numbers. It's still a bit early. We are only seeing those that are setting up for now, hoping to see more numbers. As I have mentioned earlier on, that the congregants that are here are saying that this church gets really packed. Sometimes you get to see over 10,000 people in attendance. So we will see if the numbers will still be the same, or people, will choose to stay in their houses until the dust settles.
Zola, are there no concerns on the ground around safety, especially in light of the divisiveness around Pastor Mboro?
Well, from these congregants that we've managed to speak to for now, they are mentioning issues of intimidation, saying that they have been allegedly intimidated by the community after this act, and they are not even, confident that they are safe at this point. But what's shocking is that this church is right next to a police station, which we then raise questions to say, but you're close to a police station, one would assume that you feel protected and safe. and they expressed no confidence in the Katlehong police station that is very close to their structure. But they are saying that they will not live in fear because the church has to continue, even with the intimidation and what has been happening. I must tell you, though, Matsediso, that the numbers are affected. When we spoke to one of the leaders, she mentioned that usually at this time there's a lot of people on the ground, but we haven't been seeing that. It could be that perhaps some don't even know that there's going to be a temporary structure or church will continue as normal, but we will be monitoring the situation. As it's still a bit early now, we understand that their normal service usually starts at 9. Perhaps more people will start pouring in as they see a structure being set up.
All right, Zola, thank you so much. We will definitely continue to check in with Zola Sholwana, who is on the ground there, just bringing us an update in light of all the dramatic events that have happened, starting with Pastor Mboro having burst into a church with pangas and bodyguards and guns, abducting children, his grandchildren, and we'll continue to keep an eye on that case.